Let me first begin this podcast by saying, contrary to what we read from our Dental Association leadership, it is definitely not your fault, Doc, by you signing up with PPO plans that third-party payers have such low reimbursement rates. No, Doc, low reimbursement rates are not your fault, and we will begin our podcast right there.
Welcome, all of you fantastic dental podcast listeners, to the My Practice, My Business Dental Podcast Show, where we help dentists profit and thrive with excerpts from the clinical business of dentistry training here at My Practice, My Business. We'll be addressing and answering questions with current trends dentists and their teams face each and every day in their pursuit of this wonderful career we call dentistry. And now the host of our show, the clinical director and president at My Practice, My Business, Dr. Rob Thorup.
You know, for the last several years, it's been driving me and many other people crazy that articles continue to come out that state the reason why reimbursement rates are so low is supply and demand is because so many dentists have signed up for a PPO plan that's why the insurance companies have such low reimbursement rates in your area. All of you need to get off those plans and that'll increase their rates, blah, blah, blah. So as I was gathering my thoughts on this topic, my mind was racing in so many different directions, and I just wanted to start out the podcast by, again, emphasizing, my gosh, if I read one more article that states it's the dentist's fault, I'm going to come unglued. As a matter of fact, we have a wonderful meeting with our awesome executive here in a couple weeks to help him understand that that's just not factual. It actually has everything to do with the dental insurance market and the perceived ideologies that dental consultants have propagated for years when it comes to how we can bill the PPO patient. Those are the two areas that I'm going to emphasize and talk about in this podcast. So first of all, let's address the asshats in the room, meaning the dental insurance companies. In their world, now, I know it's going to sound like I'm defending them again, and I am defending them, okay, from a business point of view, but don't send me hate mail yet. But in their world, they have to compete against each other in obtaining clients to purchase their product that they call dental insurance. Delta, Blue Cross, Aetna, MetLife, all of them out there compete for market share, and they do this primarily by competing on what? Price, meaning the premium that corporations pay for dental coverage on each of their employees. They look at the coverage tables a little bit, but it's all, everybody's so used to the coverage tables being the same for 5 million years that really doesn't matter to them. Now it's just a matter of price point. So dental insurance companies, please listen carefully to what I'm going to say. Dental insurance companies use sophisticated software to calculate the needed premiums required to pay us the reimbursement rates that they set, and while still acquiring a 24 to 32% corporate profit margin. This software, which Tracy and I have seen, touched, played with, navigated intimately firsthand, has unbelievable information on all of us, docs. I mean, they know our blood type, our underwear size, our shoe size, the socks we wear, they know everything about us on this software. They know average billings that we send in and average payouts that their clients have in our dental offices. Amazing. Once again, nowhere in their calculations on contractual reimbursement rates does sending in our fee-for-service fees affect this process in determining what their reimbursement fees are per our contracts. Honestly, people, stop the lies right now from so many out there who teach such stupid things. Now that you have that understanding, please allow common sense to prevail. Simply stated, if a dental plan is going to increase their reimbursement rates with you and I on procedures, they do it in one of two ways. One is a simple business tactic that I will define in a minute, and the other is what we call the illusion factor. Let's be clear, They are not going to raise their premiums to their clients just to raise their reimbursements to you and I. They will avoid that kiss of death at all costs because they are competing with our in-house type plans and other types of cheap coverage insurance agents have at their disposal. Okay, now that we've got that clear. The simple business tactic is where they have received enough complaints from their clients or HR departments or insurance agents on services not being covered or not covered enough with perceived high out-of-pocket expenses that they are forced into raising premiums to increase coverage of the dental procedures that we provide. However, those dental insurance companies, they run the risk of losing their clients if they raise premiums too high and become less competitive in the marketplace. They obviously are not going to run with that if they can avoid that. So how do insurance companies counteract their need to raise the premiums? They make us do free dentistry. Brilliant on their part. They make us cut into our non-existent profit margins is what I call them, because most dentists don't have any idea what their profit margins are on the procedures. And God forbid they actually have to cut into their own profit margins, because they're not going to do that. Successful businesses do not cut into profit margins unless you run a dental business. We tend to do that all the time because we have been taken advantage of. We docs and team members simply lack business training, my friends. And again, this is where MPMB, My Practice, My Business, exceeds expectations in our trainings. We teach business skills and tactics that are not found anywhere in the dental industry. So what do most dental practices do? They roll over and play dead to the wishes of the dental plan. Every time you read an EOB and it states the patient is not responsible and you write off the charges without questioning that lie, you were just proffered on that EOB. You are playing right into their hands of helping those third-party payers keep their premiums and reimbursements low, and your profits non-existent. I hope you understand that, Doc. Then there's the second part, the illusion factor. And this comes in multiple aspects. This is the one that just really hammers down on our topic today. The first one is where you're given the opportunity to increase 1 to 20 codes. You've all seen those. At least the office managers know they've seen these. The second one is the standard renegotiation of fees. And everyone loves to renegotiate every 2 years, but there is a business game the insurance companies play when they do this. Think about what is most important to the dental insurance companies when they look at their reimbursement rates to you and I. It's simple. It's their profit and loss statement. The thing that your accountant keeps telling you is so important to look at in your own practice. While they might increase reimbursement rates on some codes, they have and will offset those increases by decreasing other codes that we commonly use, with an equation relative to the frequency that we use them. The only way for them to significantly increase all codes across the board is to increase the premiums they collect from the employer groups or individuals on their plans. What really makes Tracy and I laugh with disgust is when we see third-party payers give an exceptional increase in reimbursement rates only to do one of the three following. One, they'll give you a higher reimbursement rate only to make more codes inclusive and non-billable to the patient. Number two, they will increase a few codes and decrease others to offset the increases they give you. Three, they will give you a higher rate, and then magically your higher rate will mysteriously revert back to the lower rate in hopes you don't catch it. Those are the three tactics that we see them do all the time. That's why they're able to keep their premiums at a competitive advantage in the marketplace, because you and I don't have business training. The point three tactic that I just mentioned, that's where you renegotiate to a higher fee structure, right? And then their system somehow reverts back to your old negotiated fees. This one's one that I love. I love it when offices are submitting their fee-for-service fees, because those offices that do will almost never catch this dental insurance company tactic. You see, if you're sending in your actual contracted fee on the insurance claims because you have entered all your PPO plans fees into your practice management software, and you've hooked each patient to their actual fee structure, whether that's fee-for-service or Delta, Aetna, MetLife, Blue Cross, whoever, you're going to quickly catch them at this game because you will see the discrepancy on the EOB instantly. However, if you're sending in your fee-for-service fees on all your insurance claims, you will just think that that difference on the EOB when they do that bait and switch is just part of the standard insurance write-off as stated on the EOB. I really hope you understand what I just said there because we see this all the time. We see practices losing money all the time. So now that you know the truth, where does accepting participation on a PPO plan really come into play with the control of their reimbursement rates? It simply does not. What does come into play is the inability of the doctor and front office team members to understand their insurance contracts and state laws, and the applications of those contracts and laws, and how to charge correctly and fairly for the services that you provide. By increasing the out-of-pocket expenses to your patient, you accomplish two things. Think this through now. By increasing that out-of-pocket expense to your patient because you now know how to bill correctly, first, you don't end up doing free dentistry anymore. And second, you place the blame on the insurance company for not increasing the coverage of the procedures you provide. When your patient understands the truth about their dental plan, that it's not really insurance at all, but a dental benefit plan, then you can control the conversation, the narrative as to why their out-of-pocket expense is not what their EOB says it is. What do I mean? Many of you are upgrading crowns in the nation already. Not all crowns are created equal, but my gosh, the reimbursement rates have not kept up with the cost of living index, have they? So this is where many of you will upgrade a crown at $200 and $300, $400 for that upgraded crown. And God bless you for knowing how to do that. We'll take it to a whole new level with you, but at least God bless you for doing that. I say again, and that's where the patients then have to pay a higher out-of-pocket expense. I'm going to do a podcast on that. That's coming up, okay? Within the next month or two. I'm going to talk about that in detail. So I say again, no dental association leaders. No, I say this again, no dental, you got to get the comma right there. Listen to this. No, comma, dental association leaders, comma, reimbursement rates are not low because so many dentists have signed on to plans. They are low because of low premiums that are paid to the dental insurance companies by the corporations they sell their dental plan products to. Period. It all is about profit and loss. So what continues to fascinate me is how we have the profitability answer here at My Practice, My Business. We have the ability to literally take where most of you guys, in every state's different, but where most states are being reimbursed at $650, $700 crown, maybe $150 for a build-up instead of the $285 it should be. So you guys, we'll take you from a typical PPO $850 up to $1,400, making the out-of-pocket expense to the patient much higher. Then either they have two choices. One, they can complain to the insurance company because they're the ones paying the bill. Or two, they can accept the fact that dentistry is not cheap and we have to make a living. Okay? So that's what we teach. We teach you how to increase the out-of-pocket expense of the patient just like medical does. What a concept. So it fascinates me here that the profitability answer we have here at MPMB exists, and yet even our own association here in Utah still can't recognize that simple fact. Why, you might ask? Why don't they get that? Why do they pump out this kind of crap in all the literature that they put out in other associations? Why do they do that? I believe it's because, I don't know, we make the dental associations and other dental consultants very uncomfortable with our knowledge and application of dental insurance contracts and state laws because we know them inside and out. We know how to be profitable with them. It's just that the patient, when they're only paying $35 to $75 a month in premiums, the patient has to be taught that they're not going to cover everything in defense of the insurance companies, Rob. Again, I hear that. Yeah, I know, I'm defending the insurance companies. It's okay. But when their premiums are so low, how can any consumer expect them to pay thousands of dollars on a claim? They should never, and neither should you. And that's where business skills come into play with being able to present treatment plans that show maybe the insurance company only covering $500 and their out-of-pocket expense being $980. But why the associations choose to remain ignorant on this matter is beyond me. As of today, not one of our Utah Dental Association leaders have ever visited Tracy and I here at My Practice, My Business, let alone engaged in conversation, except for the one person that has our respect is our UDA executive, which I pray that other states' executives are as meaningful as he is. He's entered into those meaningful conversations, and we respect him for doing so. We tell him thanks all the time. Unfortunately, you guys, the Dental Association continues to blame dentists for low reimbursement rates because, as the association states, quote, they take too many dental plans, end of quote, meaning the dentists take too many plans. Again, we call BS on that statement. Let MPMB show you how to utilize business principles by working within the dental contracts and applications of state laws so that you can be profitable regardless of their low reimbursement rates. Our specialized training has helped thousands of dental teams nationwide, and we hope to see you soon at one of our trainings, more specifically, our team training, which gets you profitable faster than you can even imagine. Thanks for being with us here today. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for being with us today. Since 2006, My Practice, My Business has been teaching dentists and their teams business skills, dental insurance contractual protocols, and state laws governing how to profitably bill patients fairly for the need-based services they provide. What's more, we guarantee our training, unlike other dental consulting companies in the industry. Simply stated, if you don't increase your net revenue, we don't get paid. We call it dental consulting the way it should be. We believe there has never been a more important time than now for dentists to experience and implement our key methods, knowledge, and business training within their dental practices. To learn more about our guaranteed, no-risk clinical business of dentistry training that is changing dental practices for the better, just go to our website, mypracticemybusiness.com, and surf our pages for additional information about our company and the services we provide. When you're ready, give us a call and get scheduled for the most profitable dental business training that you will ever experience. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Thank you again and have a fantastic day.